So hey, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about this book, which is Rich Dad Poor Dad, and this is an initiative by me to share what I am reading every day and in a way express it to people to let the teaching out in public as well as deepen it in my own head. So in that quest I'm sharing these book summaries or key points every day on a in very short size videos. So this will not like any general audiobook summaries, neither it will be like a full audiobook like English audiobook version or Hindi audiobook version. This will be more like key points from the lessons that I really got like inspired me, or like I thought, okay, this is something which is new for me, so I like kind of mark it out and share it to you. So right now the way I'm going to share this key points with you is more or less very unstructured, because I haven't marked out the key points right now. But in further videos, especially after like five videos, like because I am on the lesson 5 right now which I am reading, so after that I will make sure that I am going to mark the points as well. But anyway, I am going to give you a brief introduction of what this book is all about. This is Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a book by Robert Kiyosaki, and this is also known as the #1 personal finance book on the of all time. Okay, and this is a bestseller book. So you can understand that the way I have just said it, it's to be more precise, if I will have to simplify it, it is a best book in the personal finance, and I have already read it like around years back, like 5 to 8 years back, and right now I'm going through it, and it's really pumping my brain with those ideas which I read so long back. So even if you have read this book, I would recommend that you go through the key points which in the video I am going to share right now. So he's Robert Kiyosaki, and one more thing is, this book is the best book to start when you are learning about personal finance, when you're learning about how you can improve your money issues, or like how you can improve know more about money and wealth. So how to manage that, how to create more wealth, how to create more money. It is good you start with this book. Okay, with that, let me give a brief introduction about Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of this book. So he has invested into multiple small businesses, stocks, bonds, real estates. He had made his overall fortune with real estate only, and along with that he has written this book. Right now he is doing the courses on this book as well, but with time he has created a brand, an empire, a lot of assets which he is going to mention in this book. What are assets? So through which he is earning a good amount of money by like a passive income. So now he is now he is financial free, and at the time of writing this book he was also financial free. And according to his definition, what is financial freedom? Financial freedom is when your assets are making enough money, enough income, that you don't have to work for your expenses, to cover your expenses. So when your income from the assets is more than the expenses, then you are wealthy, then you are financially free. So at the time of writing this book he was financially free. So let's see what are those things: assets, income, and what is it all about. Let's start. So in the introduction, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he mentions about his two dads, and don't judge him immediately. Even when I read this title, he picked a very peculiar title, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So it's funny, but there were not two dads in the book. In the chapter when you read more about it, it's like this, that he goes on to tell his the differences between the two dads that he had. And then he said, the rich dad was the dad of his friend named Mike. So the rich dad was the dad of that person, and the poor dad was the dad of him, biological father. But more or less, he was learning constantly from both of them. And due to the contrasting viewpoints of both the fathers, he was able to choose for himself. This is very important, which he emphasized, that he was able to choose from them, like what is the right path. And in that process, he was able to think for himself, to choose for himself how he can best manage his finances, or like achieve that financial freedom. So two dads, as I mentioned, this is the first line in the introduction chapter, which is, having two dads offered me the choice of contrasting point of views, one of a rich man and one of a poor man. So let me tell you briefly about both the dads right now. So the poor man, the poor dad was an educated dad. He was working in a job, going in a job and earning good amount of money in the sugar plantation factory that he was working. And details can be a little, so he was working in it. And interesting thing is, even though he was earning a good amount of money, he was also having a good amount of expenses. So everything he was earning through his income, through the job, he was losing it all in the expenses. And not only that, he was also losing a lot of money to the government through taxes. And this is a story of most of the people. But on the other hand, the rich dad he mentioned, Mike's father, was having his own corporation, and he was building an empire. And the way he was operating things, he can spend money first and then pay taxes, which we are going to learn about in the further chapters. But the interesting thing is that he was having his income more than the expenses, and he was also focusing more on the assets column. And his most important thing is, he knows what are real assets, as people have delusions about what are real assets. So he was actually sure about what are real assets. For example, a house is not an asset according to the rich dad, which we are going to see in the further chapter. So in the introduction, he mentioned about both of the dads, that they were successful in their careers, working hard all their lives, both earned substantial incomes, yet one always struggled financially. So both were earning good amount of money, but one was always struggling financially. And when I am saying struggling financially, you understand that this was, of course, the poor dad. So, and the other will become the richest man in Hawaii. So when he was learning through those fathers, that person was not so rich, but later in life he became rich according to his principles and the knowledge he shared to the Robert Kiyosaki, and the knowledge that we are going to learn in this book. So one died leaving tens of millions of dollars to this family, its charities and his church. The other left bills to be paid. So you can understand, these are the contrasting things that he is mentioning about both dads. But again, he has mentioned so many further examples, and you can relate to it very often. It doesn't matter which side you are on. For example, one dad would say the love of money is the root of all evil, which is of course said by the poor dad. And the other said the lack of money is the root of all evil. So this is a very different viewpoint, but it's very genuine. You understand very well, when people are in lack of money, they do crimes, they do evil things. So this was the viewpoint of the rich dad. So this is something which is important. And then he has made further comparisons after some introductions and all. One dad recommended study so hard you can find a good company to work. The other recommended study hard so you can find a good company to buy. So see, totally different viewpoints. And when you are listening to a person whom you trust so much, especially if it's on your own biological father, you tend to trust him more than anyone else. So think for yourself, if you're trusting this idea, study so hard that you can find a good company to work for, then it will be hard for you to even think about this idea that I can study hard so I can find a good company to buy. So that's how your beliefs get shaped according to the people you listen to and according to the choices you make around it. More comparisons coming your way, let that sink into your head. One dad said, the reason I'm not rich is because I have your kids. So I hope you haven't heard this thing, but sometimes people get emotional and they do say stuff like that. The other said, the reason I must be rich is because I have you kids. So this is a very empowering statement. One encouraged talking about money and business at the dinner table, while the other forbade the subject of money to be discussed over a meal. And if you are one of my Indian audiences who is watching this video right now, you know very well this is a very common thing in India. People don't discuss about money a lot. Even when I started discussing about money with strangers or other people, not even in Indian people outside India, they were not so happy to talk about money, happy to talk about their finances. So it's still a taboo subject for some people. But again, how this is a game of the beliefs, like what kind of beliefs do you have about it. So another contrast is coming. One said, when it comes to money, play it safe, don't take risk. The other said, learn to manage risk. So the other one is saying, you need to take risk if you want to increase your wealth, increase your money, but learn to manage the risk. One believed our home is our largest investment and our greatest asset. The other believed my house is a liability, and if your house is the largest investment, you are in trouble. So see, this is the thing which I was telling you earlier. We will get more on this later on when you understand how these financial statements and balance sheet works. So these are the different kind of contrasting viewpoints of their dads, and over all the introduction chapter he goes on to share these ideas with people so that they can actually see the other side of the same belief that people are not even aware about. So this is a good attempt by the author to actually show him how people can have a different viewpoint, and viewpoint which is very much empowering and very much real, but not for them right now. But at the same time, he is showing him a picture, he is showing him a promising future by sharing with them a right belief. So now there is one more contrasting viewpoint, which is very, very important. That's why I'm sharing you again. My poor dad would say, I'm not interested in money. Money doesn't matter. And my rich dad always said, money is power. And it's funny that if he's not interested in money, money doesn't matter, then also he's going for a job, he's working his job, and sometimes he says like this, that I love my job, that's why I'm doing it. But tell me yourself, if you don't get money to work in your job, will you work? No. So it's very contradicting beliefs which does not allow you to create more wealth and money in life. So whereas rich dad always say money is power, you can use money to make money, which you are going to learn. And the last important thing is, there is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. So some people go through life and they take risks, and they are making good amount of money. At some times they fail they fail very hard. They get bankrupts, and so at that moment they are broke. But if their mindset is more or less like a poor, then they will stay like that for the whole life. But if their mindset is like that, okay, I am broke but not poor, I can improve my condition again, and because he knows how money works and everything, he can take the money and multiply it and make himself financially free again, or make himself rich again. Okay, so, and he shared a lesson from Robert Frost book, if you remember, The Road Not Taken. So we are the two roads. So the summary of this book is like this: that two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So if you are watching this video right now and you are listening to this, you need to understand that both ways are correct. Going to the job and doing everything whatever is everyone is doing, and even if you are doing it right now, it is also correct. And the one that is being shared by the author and his rich dad is also right, but it is the one less traveled by, and it will make all the difference, because it will shorten your path, it will increase your life's enjoyment, it will give you the freedom and power to live with the power of money, not under the power of money. Okay, so also he focused on this thing very much in the first introduction chapter, that money is one form of power, but what is more powerful is financial education. So the financial education is hitting this idea into head again and again throughout the first chapter, through all those examples, through everything. And because you are reading this book, it is a part of financial education, and he says that financial education is a lot of power. So if you have financial education, even though you are broke sometime, you can recover the money and you can become rich again. But if you don't have any financial education, even if you get a lot of money, if you have a lot of, let's say you win a lottery, you get some money from someone, you will lose it all again and it will not matter. So it's funny, and that's all for the introduction chapter. I didn't expect the book to go this long. Next time I will mark the key points in the next coming chapters before making the video, so that the video should stay around 12 to 13 minutes, and I can discuss with you the key points that are very, very important. So that's all. That's what introduction is all about. And in the next chapter, we're going to talk about the lesson 1, which is the rich don't work for money. And this will be a very interesting lesson in a story format. I'm going to boil down the story into a short format and share with you the key point. So for now, this is all the introduction thing. See you tomorrow in the next video for the Rich Dad Poor Dad lesson 1. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, do like the video by pressing the like button. Subscribe to the channel icon. Subscribe to the channel, and also press the bell icon. Yes, so it's been quite long, that's why I am not so fluent in speaking about these things, like and share, subscribe and share as well. Okay, so see you tomorrow in the next video. Till that time, let these ideas sink in, and next chapter will be very interesting. For now, think about these beliefs which I shared of the two dads, different viewpoints, and think for yourself how you can get the right beliefs, as well as start using those beliefs to choose the right things for your life. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.